Issue 41. When a man hits a woman.
I would like to explain why a woman might cause a man to become physically violent. I am in no way defending such masculine reactions. On the contrary, I am a nice guy who treats women with respect. Recently, however, I had an experience that made me understand quite clearly why a man might hit a woman. Recently, a girl backed out of a date we had planned a week in advance. I had been eagerly looking forward to this occasion and had called during the week to confirm the time and place. I set aside the evening, saved the money I needed, cleaned out my car, and even got advice from female friends to make sure the evening was perfect. I bought new clothes to wear and tried to look my best. I showed up at the place we agreed to meet. She was 20 minutes late, and then when she arrived, she told me our date was off because she already had a boyfriend and couldn't imagine why she had agreed to go out with me. If a guy pulled that stunt, he would never get away with it. Such humiliation could result in violence. If more women were decent and fair, violent crimes against them wouldn't be so prevalent.
Comprehension. 1. Does the writer defend male violence against women? 2. What did he do to prepare for his date? 3. When did his date appear? What did she say? 4. What does he think is the best way to prevent violence against women?
Let's talk. 1. Do you think violence against women can be justified in some cases? If so, when? If not, why not? 2. Why do men use violence against women? 3. What would you do if your husband hit you but repented immediately? Would you forgive him? Or would you seek a divorce? 4. People say it's never appropriate for a man to strike a woman. But what if she hits him first? 5. Would you marry a man who hit you during your courtship, thinking that you could change him after marriage? 6. Is there any way to deter men from beating their wives? 7. What do you think about verbal abuse between spouses? 8. Strange to say, there are many men who are hit by women. What do you think are some of the reasons? Why don't men defend themselves?
Opinion samples. 1. What the woman did to him was lousy, but he described himself as a nice guy who treats women with respect, even though he also said he can understand how some men might be pushed to the outer limits. This suggests to me that he is perfectly capable of doing just that. He sounds like a potential betterer to me. Question: how can we know if someone is a potential betterer?
2. Most men never stop at hitting once, even though they swear that they will never hit a woman again. If they hit their wife once, 9 times out of 10, they will be lifelong batterers. How can we prevent this? The only answer to wife beating is immediate divorce. Forgiving a batterer means giving him a license to commit violence again. Would-be wives must make it clear that under no circumstances will their husbands hit them. If they do not make their case very firmly, there is a high possibility that they will become victims of spousal violence. Question: is divorce the best solution to one spouse hitting the other? Issue 41. When a man hits a woman.
I certainly don't condone violence under any circumstances, but I don't understand why some women should automatically expect to be exempt.
What are you talking about? I don't think a man should ever hit a woman.
That's just a knee-jerk reaction. Like most other men, you've been brainwashed.
Say whatever you like, but I just don't think it's right.
Why not?
Well, to start off, most women are a lot smaller and weaker than most men.
But small men who provoke large men to violence do so at their own peril, don't you agree?
Men who pick on weaker men are regarded as bullies, but sure, sometimes a really obnoxious man has it coming. Men have to defend their honor.
Then why isn't it all right for a man to resort to violence against an insistent, castrating woman? Isn't it possible that she has it coming too?
Maybe she can't help it. The only weapon most women have is their tongues.
And maybe the only weapons most men have are their fists. If it's sometimes okay to use them against obstreperous men, why not against annoying women too? What if the woman is bigger than the man? Is it okay for him to hit her then?
No, she's still a woman. No matter what she does, a man has to respect her femininity.
What if she is actually striking him? Is it all right then?
It's okay for him to try to defend himself, but he can do that without hitting her.
Why is that fair? Why can the woman use physical force and the man can't?
We still have the remnants of a code of chivalry, I suppose.
But chivalry disappeared with the Middle Ages. These days, women sneer at men who act with deference toward them. Just try to open the door for a liberated woman and see where it gets you.
Not all women are like that. Some of them still expect special treatment from men.
But if she's screaming at you and calling you vile names in public, she's acting pretty liberated, don't you think?
She's behaving in a very unladylike manner, yes, but that doesn't mean a man has the right to hit her.
Modern women don't like to be called ladylike, don't you know that? That stereotypes them with a certain kind of behavior and attitude. They want to be as free to express themselves as men do, especially if they know they can get away with it, as most men can't.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Absolutely, but allowing them to act in ways that men are not allowed to doesn't make them equal. It just gives them an advantage in rudeness.
Look, will you knock it off? I think this conversation is getting out of hand.
What are you going to do if I keep it up? Hit me?
No, but I'll walk away from you and avoid talking to you until you behave yourself and change the subject.
Coward!
If you were a man and called me that, I'd knock your block off.
That's my point, exactly.
Questions. 1. Under what circumstances does he think it's okay for a man to hit a woman? 2. Why does she think men and women are not treated fairly? 3. What's wrong with being called ladylike?